Students, okay, if you are currently doing the questions, okay, I want you to pause for a bit. Later we will also go through. Okay, here are the questions that y'all can find in the worksheets that y'all hopefully are doing right now. So we will go through together later, but before that, I will need to create some notes first because some of you may not have the content yet, right? Some of you are starting on water lah, this lah, that lah, okay? So let's follow. You all hopefully have your papers there already. So I want you all to try and follow what I'm writing here on the screen. Okay, so we are starting on what chapter today? We are starting on plant transport systems. So I want you all to write the word plant transport system in your paper, on your paper, sorry. Box it up. Okay, and then we're going to start annotating from there. Okay, ready? Okay, plant transport system, which part am I going to start with? I'm going to start with the word plant first. You all are primary 5 students. Primary 4, you do learn some things about plants, correct? Do you all remember what are the things you learn about plants? We were talking in P4, okay, we were talking about plant parts. Do you all remember what are the parts of a plant? You all are supposed to have 3 plant parts. Okay, if you all forget, here are the parts of a plant. So I'm going to write down parts first, and I want to branch out into 3 different parts. Okay, the first part of a plant, we have the roots. Okay, and then if we go what's above the roots, we have the stem. Okay, then finally we have the leaves. There is one more, right? About when it comes to plant parts, there's one more structure, one more part. Okay, the answer is flower. Okay, however, for today, we are not going to look at flower. We are only going to look at 3. Roots, stem, and leaves. But we are going to focus on one. Most of the time, we are going to look at roots and stem for today first. Okay, so if you look at the plant transport system, if you're looking at plants, we remember there are 4 parts: roots, stem, leaves. When you talk about transport, okay, students, when you talk about transport, the word transport itself means something. It means to if I use the word transport again in my explanation, then my explanation would not be a very good one. Remember, if you are supposed to explain something, a word, for example, and you use the word again in your answer, then your answer is most likely not going to give anything informative to the person, right? If the person don't know the word transport, then you're not going to say transport is to transport law. That doesn't make any sense, right? So I'm going to change a bit. The word transport means to bring substances or materials also can, okay, from one place to another. Okay, so like in plants, they do need to transport substances from one place to another or transport materials from one place to another. Okay, so what materials are we going to look at? For plants, we are mostly going to look at water, minerals, as well as food. 3 things. Okay, so to transport all these 3 items, these 3 substances, these 3 materials, we need to have a very good, very specific, efficient transport system. Same thing like Singapore, correct or not, people? Singapore, in Singapore, you have a very good network of roads. We have very good network of MRT and stuff like that. So what do all these things do for us? They help us to make our commute easier. To go from one place to another, it makes things so easy for us. From you can go from Choa Chu Kang to where my best friend lives at Tampines in like what, 45 minutes using the bus plus MRT. Oh, there's a cheap route that I take. Okay, 45 minutes only to go from the east to the west. So same thing also for plants, okay, for living things. Even inside our bodies also there are transport systems. So for today, we are going to look at what is used for transport systems in plants. First thing first, we are going to look, I am going to draw. So if you can, and if you want to, you draw on your paper as well. It's a very simple plant diagram. Let me change color first, okay? Change green because I'm drawing a plant, right? Okay, let's go. Okay, I'm going to draw a very simple plant. The stem, followed by the roots, followed by, let me draw 2 leaves over here. Okay, next, if I draw a diagram, I want to label the diagram first. Okay, so I'm going to label this as roots. I'm going to label this as stem, leaf. Okay, so far so good because these are the things you have covered in primary 4. Okay, what are the additional things you need to know? Two terms that I mentioned earlier, right? Water carrying tube is one. Food carrying tube is another one. Okay, so where can I fit them in? I will fit them right from the roots first. So from the roots, if you look at what is the function of roots, in primary 4, we'll have covered this information. Okay, for roots, the main function is for absorption. So the process they're doing is absorption of water and minerals. Okay, so there must be some tubes that will go upwards. That means they are going to transport the absorbed water and minerals into the roots and after that transport them upwards in the plant. So actually the water carrying tubes will start somewhere here around the end of the roots here. Okay, then after that, okay, when the water wants to go up the stem, then they go into the actual water carrying tubes. Okay, so to transport water, we actually use water carrying tubes. The name, I think, gives it away already because what else do you use to transport water? What do you call them? Simple water carrying tubes. No issue for this. Okay, don't worry so much about that. Okay, so now water, where is it being carried to? Water is being carried to all parts of the plant. So the stem, they pass through using the water carrying tubes. What happens is there's still your leaves, there's still the flowers. So the water needs to be transported to all these locations, all these parts of a plant. All right, so that means in the leaves as well, that you will find water carrying tubes going all the way up to there. It's just that maybe in the leaves, because the leaves are thinner, right, than the stem of the plant, so the water carrying tubes found there will be smaller, but definitely will have, because the leaves, the fruits, the flowers or the plants all require water to live as well. Okay, so water, direction of water transport is actually upwards. Okay, if you follow, let me just bold it like that. This is the direction of water transport. Okay, so it's only going in what direction? One direction only, which is upwards. Okay, so what I will do is I will bracket this water carrying tube. I will remind myself of the direction of transport. So water carrying tubes, the direction is only upwards. One direction, upwards. Okay? So far so good, right? Can understand, right? Still okay. Okay? Anybody have any questions first? If you have, raise your hand. If not, then I will continue. Can okay. The next tube that we are going to learn is food carrying tubes, right? Okay. So food carrying tubes, okay, the direction is the opposite of water carrying tubes. So instead of starting from the roots, we start from the leaves. Over here, the leaves. Okay, ignore the red green color pen first. Oh wait, let me erase to make things clearer. Erase this. Okay, the red is for food. So the food transported will be from the leaves first. Why? Is because the leaf is the place, is the location where photosynthesis take place. You know, plants make their own food, right? Okay, so when they make their own food, which part of the plant is involved is the leaves. So the food generated will be first in the leaf first. So you imagine a big plant, a big tree, for example, with many, many leaves. All those leaves are the places where food is being formed when photosynthesis take place. So I will start my journey when the plant wants to transport the food, then they will go out from the leaves to where? To all parts of the plant also. Okay, so they will also go down all the way to the roots because why? The roots are also part of the living plant. The roots are made up of living cells. So they are still alive, means they still need food for them to survive. If no food, then they die. Okay, so the food will be transported out from the leaves via food carrying tubes. Okay, and the direction is can be upwards, can be downwards as well. Okay, do you know why can be both? Anyone knows why can be both? Maybe it's time for me to hear some contributions for you. Wait, let me move the chat over. Sorry. Teacher, you're mute. Am I still mute? I'm not mute, right? Y'all can hear me, right? I unmuted already. Correct or not? Y'all don't scare me? Y'all can hear me, right? Not your head. Not your head if you can hear. Yes, okay. So just now, is it muted? Just now muted because I had to call a person for help because I cannot annotate ma. Okay, so now can hear. Okay, now can hear. You all heard my question, right? That means my question was, I repeat again, my question was, why is it that the direction of food carrying tubes, the direction that they transport food is both upwards and downwards? Write in the chat your answer. You can direct message me also if you don't want other people to look at your answer. It's fine. But I need at least one answer contribution from one of you. So, anyone? Make a guess. Okay, let's say guess. Make the best guess that you can. Why is the direction of food transport can be going upwards and downwards? Because, unlike water is transported only one direction, right? I wrote that. It's only from roots upwards to the rest of the plant, but not for food. Any idea why? No? Okay, why not? I tell you lah, okay? Let me give you for today, I will give you the answer for this, okay? Let's find a place. There's no more space. Okay, you know what? I'm going to draw extra leaves. Okay, so these are the two leaves that I drew. But an actual plant outside, if you take a look outside your window and if there's a plant there, a tree there, you will see that it's not only one level of leaves, right? There are many layers of leaves possible, correct or not? Okay, so let's say my plant is like that, got double layer of leaves. Okay, and then let's say also, let's add something else. Let's add an apple. Apple what color? Red color, right? Okay, let's draw an apple here. A small one because no space. Red color apple growing from the branch here. It's a very weird position for the apple, but never mind. Let's just imagine, okay? Okay, so if we have this kind of plant, okay, where there's more leaves, more layers, and then a fruit growing there. So the thing is, for food transport, this leaf here, the one that I'm shading, can it make food? Can, if got light, if got suitable conditions for it to make food. Can this leaf make food? Can also. Can this leaf make food? Can also. They are leaves. So when they make food, let's say you have a fruit growing here, the growth of the fruit, they require more resources. One of them can be food. Okay, among other things, the growing fruit also needs food. So what they can do is this leaf here can also transport the food downwards. Hang on, what did I just do? I want to annotate. Okay. The leaf here, the food that they make can also be transported downwards to where there is a growing fruit present. Okay, so similarly, the leaf here that's making its own food, it can also channel or transport the food upwards to other parts of the plant. Maybe there's a growing part somewhere up there. So they can transport both ways, up or down. Okay, so